Time now for everyone's favorite segment of the week. It is time.
It's time for a good old-fashioned Q&A, MMA fans. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived to hear from the man himself, Ariel Helwani. Live from the Vox Studios in beautiful New York City, it's On the Nose. And now, to answer your questions, get out of your seats and on your feet because here he is.
Yes.
Ariel
Thank you, Mike Heck.
Helwani.
Okay, I can't wait to see what Frank has come up with in week 2. I don't think there are any questions about yesterday's Dana White Contender Series post-fight press conference. So this is in line with On the Nose. You know, sometimes on Wednesdays, we like to pull out the receipts. We like to 10-7. We like to talk about things. Sometimes people like to, sometimes people don't. But sometimes things need to be said. And sometimes these press conferences provide a lot of opportunity to parse through everything and let you know what's the real, what's the truth, what's really going on, right? That's what we like to do. We like to be truth tellers around these parts. Good, bad, ugly, okay? And sometimes it's like baffling stuff, like the Aljo Marab thing that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Like, what? Clogging up the division? I don't understand what is being said here. I don't understand what is going on. Yesterday, I'm watching the Dana White Contender Series post-fight press conference. Usually I just watch the clips provided by the great Jedi Goodman. That's in real time. Aaron Bronstetter usually is writing like tweets and stuff like that. And then we have it up on the YouTube channel, all that stuff. And these tweets and clips are coming out and I'm like, wait a second. This is different. This is different. And in this era of us being the positive voice in this sport, I felt that it is only right, it is only fair for us to highlight these things. Frank, we have breaking news. Yes, we have actual breaking news. For the first time in quite some time, I'll be honest, first time in quite some time, I think I agreed with 99.9% of the things that Dana White said at the post-fight press conference last night. 99.9%. I was like, that's on point. That's right. He nailed that. He's right about that. What is going on? Maybe he needs to go on more vacations. Clear mind, full hearts, can't lose. He's nailing it. And this needs to be highlighted and this needs to be applauded. And so here are a couple of highlights, in my opinion, of what was said yesterday. Let's start with the first one. This is in regards to the 10-8 score from Mike Bell in the main event, 5th round, Grasso-Shevchenko 2.
So I was on vacation when this thing happened, and I'm sitting in my house going, when I found out that one of the judges scored 10-8, I'm like, this guy should be fucking investigated for this. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And as I started to talk to people, you know, I guess there was there's a seminar tomorrow with the Athletic Commission on 10-8s.
By the way, pause right there.
Hopefully they can get...
Thanks to Dana for following the Twitter feed. I see everyone running with my seminar report that I posted on Monday night after I spoke to someone from the United States Athletic Commission. So I appreciate that. Like, you know, could have mentioned first reported by Ariel, but we're not going to get petty like that, okay? We're in a positive mind frame here, so this is great stuff. Keep going.
People, you know, I guess there was there's a seminar tomorrow.
That's right.
With the Athletic Commission on 10-8s.
First reported.
So hopefully they can get this cleared up, especially in title. There's so much at stake in a title fight, more than just money, show and win and pay-per-view and championships and legacies. And it's just, you have to have the best of the best in title fights. So they've assured me that this guy isn't a bad guy. He just fucked up and made a mistake. And it's unfortunate. And there's no way in hell that was a 10-8 round.
Couldn't agree more. No way in hell. And by the way, it is true today, 3:30 Pacific, they are having a seminar. They actually invited me to be on the Zoom. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it because we have to record something after this. But I do appreciate that. And I've asked, and I was told it's not going to happen, but I asked multiple times for some sort of statement, some sort of acknowledgement, some sort of anything regarding that 10-8. I don't think it's coming. However, I will say this. I do believe that that is an acknowledgement that the powers that be don't agree with the scorecard. And I do think that it is very promising to see that they are doing something like this, as opposed to just being like, on to the next one, on to the apex, live by the sword, die by the sword. So this to me is a step in the right direction. Is it a wholesale change? Is it a dramatic change like people are demanding? Perhaps not. But hey, this is an opportunity to educate, to dissect, and does it change the result? No. But I'm glad Dana agrees, and I'm glad I'm going to take it as that. No one has said this to me directly. Take it as some sort of acknowledgement that the very important people in Nevada don't agree with it as well. So this is a step in the right direction. Let's continue. Here's clip number 2 while still speaking about that main event.
Unfortunately, you'll probably never have the opportunity to have him sitting somewhere like this and ask him that question, because only he knows the answer to that question. Valentina gets dropped in like the second or third round. I don't remember. That's not a 10-8, but the 5th round is a 10-8.
Especially when Valentina was winning the first 3 minutes of the 5th round.
It literally makes no sense.
Is that something you would like to see? I know you can't make it happen, but would you like the judges to be able to speak to the media after a controversial decision,
Oscar.
or even
Oscar
the commission
Willis, Mac Life? No, keep going.
themselves just come out and speak? Do you think that's something that could benefit them, or is it going to make them a target of like crazy hate and bullshit?
Yeah, unfortunately, that is part of the, and I get it, why the athletic commission wouldn't want to put their guys out in front of, the media and deal with the fans and all the bullshit. But you just don't throw 10-8s around. 10-8s are, period.
If the judges aren't going to speak to the media or the fans, do you think they should at least be able to speak to the fighters themselves? So Valentina should be able to go to that judge and be like, explain to me how you gave that 10-8 to Alexa. Do you think you'd like to see that?
No.
Good follow-up.
No, you're not going to see that. And you have to understand, too, and I'm not defending anything. These people are human. They make mistakes, but this one's total bullshit.
So all in all, can you say, okay, like, should they talk to the fighters? Yeah, I think they should. But all in all, it's the right sentiment. He's 100% on point, and he is right. They aren't going to speak to the media. The only thing I would offer is, why not? And if he is correct in stating, hey, the commission doesn't want to put the judges, the officials in the line of fire, again, I would say, put out a statement, your own statement. Type it up yourself, or have a pool reporter, as we've talked about in the past, pick someone from the media, someone who's at the event, even someone who's not at the event. Have someone ask 5 questions, and that gets disseminated to the rest of the world. There are ways of getting around this where they aren't attacked, and no one's going to attack. Trust me, no one's going to come out there with pitchforks. But if they want to protect them for whatever reason, because they don't make enough, because they don't want them to get, in there, I don't know what the reason is. Everyone else faces the music except for these individuals. There are multiple ways in which we can skin this cat. You can put out your own statements, your own Q&A, or you can have one guy, one girl, one reporter go up and talk to that official and put out the answers for the world to see. Overall, though, he's right. It ain't going to happen anytime soon, although I am pushing for it. And I feel like by the time we're done here, things are going to change. The sentiment was on point. So kudos. Next one, Noche UFC.
I will go that date every day. I don't care if somebody here in town gets the date at the arena. I'll go in an opposing arena and go head-to-head with them next year. I'm doing this for the rest of my reign here. So they can go on the same night. We can go head-to-head. I'm going. Thing was a massive success for us. This was something that I've been thinking about since the day we bought this company. So we're finally in the position. I'm all in. All my chips are in on Mexico. We're opening the PI, which we spent, millions and millions of dollars on. I was in here talking to you guys. It might even have been you or somebody else. We were talking about why aren't you doing it? I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. Why am I not doing that? We did it. It was huge, and we'll do it again every year, regardless of whether boxing goes or doesn't go. I will go head-to-head with them every year.
Love it. It's the right call. We went on and on Monday's show about how great it is. It's 1,000% the right call. They should go every year, and screw anyone else who tries to go head-to-head with them. And he later ended up saying a very similar thing, that if anyone goes head-to-head, he is he is going to go after those people, right? That's what the last one is. He's going to go head to head. Oh, and he talked about how great the ratings were. There was one. Should I push back on the one thing that was slightly inaccurate? I guess it can't.
I think you have to.
It can't all be sunshine and rainbows, right, Frank? I mean, it is the
Absolutely.
MMA hour, for goodness sakes, and we are negative. There was one small part. I mean, overall, I think it was a 9 out of 10, maybe even a 9.5. But there was one small part. This is what I'm talking about.
All right. Hey, Dana.
Got a text from someone at ESPN.
Your idea to go all in on Mexican Independence Day paid off.
Your idea.
Noche UFC was the most watched fight night of all time on ESPN+. 1.1 million unique views. 1.1 million people that had never been to ESPN+ tuned in for that fight. So think about that. It generated 167 million total minutes. Yeah. And it did 3x the average viewership minutes watched on the Spanish feed. Wow. Killed it.
So the 1.1 stuff, like uniques, like that just means 1.1 million different people were watching, not necessarily like 1.1 million unique people at ESPN that have never been there before. But like that's a tomato thing, right, Frank? I mean, that's.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, it's all. I mean, that's a big number for a fight night, and that's a pay-per-view level fight of a number. That's a pay-per-view level number, and like we said, it felt like a pay-per-view. It 100% felt like a pay-per-view. It felt big. It felt important, and if it was in fact his idea, then God bless it. It deserves all the credit. He deserves all the credit. And it is something that they should continue to do. So I wanted to bring that up because people say, you're always so you're always so negative. Here we are, giving credit where it's. In fact, I would say, as of late, is maybe post-vacation, very positive, right? It's been very positive around these parts.
Yeah, for the show.
What does that mean?
I was just teasing you about, yeah.
No, I don't know. What does that mean?
Like you've been mean behind the scenes.
Wow.
But
okay,
that's not true. We've seen a new Helwani since the vacation.
Well, let's see how you did with the questions
Oh, God.
this week. First up, Rookie Blue 7. Mr. Helwani, hot tag. In the event of a draw, does neither fighter get a win bonus? How would that work since nobody truly won the fight, even though we all know who really won at Noche? Secondly, okay, let me just address that. I mean, it really just depends on the A, mood of the promotion, but B, their contract structure. Like a lot of the people who are fighting for belts aren't getting show win anymore. If you're a newcomer on 10 and 10 and you are getting show win, if you end up in a draw, you are not getting your win bonus. However, let me just be very clear. There is no rhyme or reason to any of this. So out of the goodness of their heart, out of the kindness of their heart, they can say, yeah, we're going to give you, like they do this. So by the letter of the law or the contract, they don't have to. The same way they don't have to pay Wonderboy Thompson after he says, I'm not going to fight Michel Pereira because he's overweight. But sometimes they do. And if you're someone, not everyone these days has, the vast majority do, but not everyone, especially at the very top, have the show win type of pay structure, then it's a moot point. Secondly, he writes, speaking of the female divisions, who the hell is going to fight Juliana the Parlay Vixen Peña for the strap? Because it appears the UFC has zero interest in crowning a new champ in that division. I think it's going to be Raquel Pennington. There was some talk of Mayra Bueno Silva. She tested positive, and so now it looks like it's going to be Pennington. When? TBD. Haven't heard much. Leon Colby, I think, will be in December. Yuri Alex could be November or December. You'd have to think it's going to be either November, December, or January. But I haven't heard specifically when. Jay Fed. Ciao, Ariel. Have you had a chance to talk with Teddy Atlas about judging and referee decision in boxing? I mean, I feel like we've talked, but not recently. He has a petition to start a national commission of boxing to help protect the fighters from administrative mistakes and corruption. I've talked about this as well. I don't know if I ever knew about this, but I've always said, or at least have long said, that I think a national commission would serve everyone because there would be one body, one voice, one, set of rules. This, state by state thing is confusing for us. I can't imagine what it's like for fighters and the people around them. So yes, I love that idea, but I don't think it's happening anytime soon because it's government and bureaucracy and red tape and politics and all that stuff. And he asks, do you think this would be possible in MMA? And I would say, if it's going to happen in boxing, it's going to happen in MMA because it's the same commissions. Nevada oversees all combat sports in Nevada, boxing, MMA, etc., slap fighting. Dana White talked, by the way, about the slap fighting game that it has like 350 million downloads. I kid you not. When I was on the plane home from my trip, I was with other family members, including my nephew, who is 13. I swear on my life, at one point during the flight, he pulls out his phone and he starts playing the slap fighting game on his phone. And
You're joking.
And I was like, I can't believe this is happening. And I was like, do you like it? And he's like, yeah, it's great. And it's just basically a guy and you do like a thing and you press it. It's almost like a golf game and you go back and you hit. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. Like the graphics aren't great. You know, it's not exactly EA5 or whatever.
It's a mobile game, you know.
EA5.
It's a mobile game.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't believe this is broken through like this. So
I mean, your nephew, one of 350 million.
that's what I'm saying.
Download. Impressive stuff.
So that's a small sample size, but apparently there's interest. Anyway, he says, thanks, Ariel and crew. You guys rock. Appreciate it. Christian Juarez. Hello, MMA Hour friends. Quick question. When it comes to choosing the picks on Wednesday, we all know how everyone goes about picking. GC studies the fighters, history, past fights, etc. We really don't have to ask the OGs, but how does Mysterious Frank go about choosing his pick? Much love from Chicago. Take it away, Frank.
I try to get around -200 to -400, and I go with fighters that I
Do you have
recognize.
to say negative? Like who says
No,
negative? No
God,
one says
see,
negative.
This is
I mean,
how
it's mine.
OG
Yeah,
mine. I'm just
it's
leaning
really,
into
really,
it.
No one
You
says
know what?
negative. Okay.
It's part of the secret sauce. I can't share that information. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Secret sauce.
I have a
okay.
spreadsheet that I just type in a
for
letter and
sure.
it pops out a graph, and then I
For sure. System play.
system play.
The best part
Yeah.
about this
nice.
answer here,
Nice.
the best part about this answer is that he picked the question. So he could have had something better prepared. But like you almost
It's true.
What do you mean?
You acted like this
That
is being
is
sprung
true.
upon you.
Putting this on the spot.
Okay. There you go. You're not getting the answer.
I-
Here he is.
I do have to admit, I feel like the question's kind of unfair to Frank, if I'm being honest.
Why are they targeting him?
Like, why are they targeting him? Like, certainly, I think you and I have watched a lot of MMA, but I have to admit, these cards are not guys like I've capped in the past, or like I do have to do a little bit of research or thinking about this, and
Especially
I would
when
say
it's like
Frank,
the fight nights, right? The Apex fight nights.
yeah, I would say Frank's doing the work the same as us.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm in the same spot as Frank is, quite frankly. Like there's not a lot of track record for
Yep.
for a lot of these fighters, and so yeah, you gotta dig a little bit. Now, granted, I try to gravitate toward fighters that I've seen more tape on and know better, right? Aljamain Sterling's been somebody I'm always picking. Israel Adesanya, I do tend to gravitate toward those types of fighters. But for a fight night, sometimes you just gotta do a little bit of legwork, watch a little bit of tape, look at the line, and do those things. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was a little unfair to target Frank, but at the same time, Frank selected the question, so maybe he needs some
Unbiased.
You know.
I think that Christian is coming from a place of he's the newest fan and is.
I get it.
Yeah, so I think he's comfortable.
I get
with
it,
that
but
place.
I feel like a new fan when I see 90% of the
Sure,
names
but
on these
we've
fight cards.
longtime viewers of the show have been watching you make picks in some way, shape, or form for years. So this has kind of been,
Yeah, it's
you know.
yeah. I'm right there with Frank these days, though. I'll tell you that.
I appreciate the solidarity. Spud Greg, hello to the MMA Hour crew. We have had only 2 top 10 fights at welterweight in 2023. Is this normal? That is crazy. Is that true? I mean, I haven't looked, but I guess I'm not too surprised. It's a weird division, and especially when we're waiting on someone who hasn't fought. By the time, if Colby and Leon fight in December, it will have been almost 2 years since his last fight. Colby. Is this normal, and what is going on with the top-ranked welterweights? Has this undeserved Colby shot made everyone else not want to risk their ranking till there's clarity? I mean, some guys have fought, but Yeah, I think it happens in December. That's my gut. I'm not reporting this, but that's just my gut right now. Bilal fought when? He fought in May. Khamzat hasn't fought, but he's fighting at 85, so you can't really count him. Gilbert fought in May. Shavkat has been out for a minute. Wonder Boy was supposed to fight in July. Jeff Neal was supposed to fight in August. So, like, you can't. Sean Brady got hurt as well. Machado Gary's 11. So, Jack Della has fought. Kevin Holland has fought. Neil Magny has fought. Michael Kiss has fought. So, I kind of feel like the phrasing of this or the framing of it is not exactly 100% fair, but in any event. How would you guys feel about JDM versus Ian Garry? Love it. Two young studs. Do you want to do it now? I like the Ian Garry versus Wonder Boy. I like JDM versus Wonder Boy. I don't know how Wonder Boy would feel about that because he's 7 and they're 11 and 12 respectively. So yeah, I don't hate it. Question for GC: is it time to start considering the UFC cover star curse when betting on MMA?
I don't know. There's only one more that needs to fight, and that's Volk, and there's no way I'm going against them.
Oh, is it because Valentina was on this one?
Yeah.
Were you surprised by that?
Is he on the deluxe edition? Yes, I was very surprised at her being on the cover of it.
Wasn't the champ at the time, and you could certainly say that there are more like there are fighters with greater fan bases, right? But I guess it's who wants to make the deal. Like you would think like Sean O'Malley would be on there.
Yeah.
Or Connor's always a layup. But yeah, I was a little bit.
Yeah, I thought Volk made sense.
Yeah.
Kind of like the, some say he's pound for pound number one.
John Jones.
Yeah, John Jones would work too.
I guess you have to cut the deal, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. Who knows when they negotiated who would be on the cover?
Can we also just address the fact...
are they...
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
They had both just recently lost when it was announced. Obviously they were coming off losses. Or no.
No.
Yeah, Volk won.
They announced it. They announced it the week of 293. Then Izzy lost. He's on the deluxe edition. And then the very next week, Valentina lost. And there's been history of the cover athletes losing their very next fight.
I will say, are those not kind of like the consensus like top pound for pound, right? I mean, maybe John Jones has the argument, but I feel like they're like the male and female who would be most commonly answered at the top of that list. So maybe that's just the conventional wisdom. But what was the last one before this? Jorge and Izzy?
And Izzy,
do I have that right, or was there one after that?
No, that's correct. Jorge and Izzy.
What are the reviews, by the way? Are people liking it, or is
it's not out yet?
Oh, it's not out.
Is it
not out yet?
Oh, it's not out.
When is it out?
End of October.
Coming out, I think, in the next few days is EAFC, right?
No idea.
The fuck? You're supposed to be like the young guy, ear to the streets. What are you talking about? You know what
Are you
EAFC
getting it for
is?
your kids? Or?
Yeah,
If it ain't on Switch, he ain't playing
it's
it.
FIFA.
No, it's FIFA.
No, the football coach.
FIFA's done.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I don't think-
it's FIFA though. It's FIFA 24.
It's
They
that.
just
It's
changed
that
the name.
legacy. It's that franchise.
Yeah, I know,
yeah.
but
Oh, I
it's,
thought it was,
it's inaccurate. It's called FIFA. It's called EAFC, all right? Erling Haaland
It's
on the
been
cover.
FIFA for the last.
No, but this is the
20,
first
25
year.
years.
This is the first
yeah,
year.
EAFC. Wow, here we go.
When's it coming out?
But
I don't know.
Next Tuesday.
Fuck, I thought you were like Mr.
it's
Soccer
like-
now. I thought you loved it.
I am Mr. Soccer. I don't. Need
You
to
have a
pay-
Switch?
I don't need to pay $60 every single year for
All
the
right,
same game.
fine. I want
For the
to
roster-
I
for the
want to play
roster
with
update.
I want to play with the new look Forest squad. I want Sangare on my squad. I want Matt Turner.
You can
behind
just trade them in the old game. That's what everybody used to do.
I want the real deal. All right, fine. Jeez, I didn't realize. I did want to bring up the fact that typically I feel like what you choose to wear is like related to the guest, like in support. Today's show you chose to wear a Sean O'Malley shirt.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I did think about that on the way in. Looks good, huh?
No, it's a nice shirt, and he does such a great job with the
great
merch.
shirt.
But I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I finally got it in the mail. I had decided that I was going to wear it today, and then the lineup came out. I couldn't reroute. I couldn't audible at that point.
But you knew about Aljo being on the show for at least 24 hours. It wasn't like
Yeah, I planned these outfits well in advance.
All right.
Sunday night, I was just like, all right, I'll go Mexico jersey on Monday, respect to UFC. I came home from Connecticut to the O'Malley package, and I was like, I'll wear the O'Malley shirt on Wednesday.
Do you wash before you wear for the first time?
Yeah.
You got it.
I thought of you, yeah.
Jeans wash before you wear or no?
Yeah, pretty much any clothes I wash before I wear, yeah.
I feel like Rick does.
Are you a jeans? Are you a no wash jeans guy?
No, I wash everything, but I think some people think I'm weird for doing that.
No, I don't think that's weird.
You know, it's
Get
the
it,
you know, it's
rip
the
the
one
tag,
thing
throw it in the wash.
you know, it's the actual one thing that I don't wash. Let me rephrase that. I have, but I'm actually not totally against not washing before I wear socks. Socks are so soft.
Directly on the feet.
Yeah, is that weird?
I don't know. I don't think it's weird. I don't think it's that dirty.
What
They're all
about boxers? Weird? Just kidding.
Now we're kind of. But I guess socks
No,
are
no.
boxers for your feet.
Socks are very soft the first time you try them on.
This is off topic, but also on topic. You know when you get new towels?
Yeah, you
feels like you got to wash them.
You gotta
like
break 'em in.
6 or 7. Yeah, you got to break them in. I
They're
didn't
too
know
soft.
that.
Okay.
What kind of
yeah.
towels are you buying, man? Great Barrel, they're soft.
Yeah, they're soft, but it feels like they're not that absorbent right off rip, and you have to like give them a wash, give them a dry. You know, you got to break them in. I'm with you here. I'd never bought new towels until I think it was last year, but yeah, they took some breaking in.
I don't wash my towels.
Yeah, that's weird. That's probably the weirdest.
I mean, you're drying off a clean body.
Yeah.
Not a dirty towel.
Wait,
To
this is
confirm,
a gimmick, right?
FIFA
I have to know.
24
Yes, FIFA
comes
20.
out September 29th.
Okay, that's soon.
Yeah, next
Might
week.
pre-order that shit.
I can't tell
pre-order.
anymore. I honestly can't tell anymore what's happening. I just need to be sure that Frank does wash his towels.
Yes.
Abe.
Thank God.
Hello, Ariel and the mysterious moderator. It's not a bad name. The UFC typically doesn't like to have vacant belts. Any news on the men's light heavyweight or women's bantamweight title fights? And you can clarify, Frank, I feel like we're doubling up here. There was a question about the women's bantamweight division, and now...
Hey, there's some familiar faces, familiar questions.
Sure.
Come on.
Oh, are we just looking for the same old, same old?
No,
Giving
would you-
no- I mean, men's light heavyweight could be November, could be December, could be January. I know that's not, but it's coming. It's coming. Women's bantamweight we just addressed, don't know yet, but we know it's going to be Juliana and Raquel. And can you clarify Jamal Hill did actually vacate or vacant, I think he meant to write, as the UFC website still has him as champion. I've asked about this. It's just going to be one of those things where it's like, once this fight happens, he's no longer the champ. They've done this before. I don't know why sometimes they push to have it, or maybe if it's like the fighter, like Amanda retires and says, I'm done. I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason for any of this stuff, but it's all semantics. The next fight is going to be for the title, not the interim title, based on what I'm hearing, because that's an Achilles injury, and that's going to take a long time to heal. Much love, your boy, Bay. Big B. Hey, Ariel, I'm a big fan of your basketball show. I was wondering if you have any updates on where the show's headed, given the start of the season is right around the corner. How did the show perform during the first run? Was it to your expectations? I enjoyed it immensely. The thing I did not enjoy was having to book the show every week myself. I was kind of told that wasn't going to be the case, and then it ended up being me. Shout out to Coach Mike Brown, Coach of the Year, Sacramento Kings, was the first person to say yes to me. And it was like one of the happiest days of my life because I was really sweating. I mean, I don't have a Rolodex in the world of basketball like I do. I had to bank on some relationships that I've made as a result of MMA fandom, like Brown, like Chris Stapps, etc. Some talk about doing it again. I need a booker for that. But we got things. There's things happening, my friends. The next year is going to be huge. Very critical, very important, very big for myself, this program, everything else. So please stay tuned. I'm not really quite sure. We've got the YouTube channel as well. We've got the social media. We've got a lot going on. So very exciting things, ever evolving. This is year 3 now, post ESPN. Great spot. Very happy. And I'm very excited for the way in which everything's going to play out. Some cool things to announce, hopefully soon, and a little down the line, a very exciting thing as well. Stay tuned. Style Gemder. What's up, Frank, Ariel, and Co? I loved the idea. You are one of the 3 guys throughout on Monday about having Alexa versus Valentina 3 as a main event and having Blanchfield versus Furo as the co-main. However, this caused me to even think further. By the way, we didn't play that clip. And that's another thing that I agree with Dana White on. He says that they got to do the trilogy, and I agree with him on that. The question is, does the timeline work out where, and as I reported yesterday, Valentina is going to fight Valentina's going to have surgery, cast for a month, 3 months until she can, fully engage in sparring and contact again. So that's not, they last fought 6 months ago. So the timing may turn out, and it sounds like they're going to do that, and I don't necessarily hate that. How do you think the UFC and the fans would feel about having an all-female night, a true celebration of female MMA or women's MMA? Could possibly be done in January, maybe even throw Tatiana Suarez versus Zhang Weili to make it a pay-per-view. I love everything about it. I love these sort of themed nights. They did the all-heavyweights. I love it. Back in the day, UFC 58 was Canada versus USA. Tremendous. And shout out to my guys, Patrick Cote and David Loiseau, who were a part of that card. They just started their own podcast, and I was a guest on their show yesterday, but the interview is going to air in a few weeks. You can find it. I'm pretty sure it's in French, but if you're a Quebec MMA fan, a French MMA fan, those are two legends right there. Certainly trailblazers as far as Canadian MMA is concerned, but legends in my opinion. And so it's cool to see them come together to do their own MMA show. We recently see this in boxing when Boxer put on a female card for Shields versus Marshall. It was great. Would love to know your thoughts on this piece. Yeah, I'm in. I would love it. It would be a lot of fun. Hello. We are 2/3 of the way to the UFC Attitude Era. If Colby beats Leon for the strap, can you imagine a UFC 300 stacked with O'Malley, Strickland, and Colby? I know many don't think there's any point of including Conor or Izzy on 300 since they both do crazy pay-per-view numbers by themselves, but this trio for 300 would be insane. Yeah, I agree. Now, it depends on when Colby fights, but yes, the timing could very much work out, and I could see O'Malley, if he fights in December and wins that fight, turning around and fighting on 300. There's options. Now, why are they the Attitude Era? I'm not sure, but it's a fun little title. And it will be fun to see who they end up choosing for that card. Jessica, hi, Ariel. Where's DC? Yeah, good question. It's been a while. Wondering when the dynamic duo may reunite. Love the show. Thank you, Jessica. DC is, I believe, in San Jose. He was in New York last week to ring the bell at New York Stock Exchange. Didn't call me to come on the show. No big deal. Would have done a special edition. He was in and out. But as you may know, November the 11th, the UFC is back in New York City. He came in studio, albeit, very briefly, and it was a little bit disrespectful. Like, he came in and made it seem like it was like such a big deal, him and his team. But, maybe we'll get it on the radar, get it on the diary, as they like to say overseas, and he could come visit us again. That would be nice. Lord knows Chael comes on all the time. Although Chael's been doing this thing where he keeps kind of taking subtle shots at us, but he's always doing these reaction videos about things that we say on the show, and those are always his best performing videos, as I tweeted today, which is fine, Got to get the numbers up. People thought that I was taking a shot. I wasn't taking a shot. I was just saying, the name of his podcast is You're Welcome. So I was just saying you're welcome for the views, because if you actually look at the views, anytime it's something from the show with my name in the title or picture, and this is not an ego thing. This is just pure facts. I get what he's doing. So just an acknowledgement would be nice. Who the real draw is, who the A side is. Sean Kemp's son. Perhaps this is a friend of New York Rick's. Hello, Ariel. With the news of PFL buying Bellator, what are some of the best fights they can put together? Thank you. Have a great day. Well, they haven't quite bought Bellator. I saw there were some rumors late last week that the deal was dead. I'm not hearing that. It is still live, but it is not done. And it's going to be a couple months before it likely would get done. So something could happen between now and then. It's still very much at play. Bellator is not being folded, at least not right now. Again, when you're dealing with currency where you could throw things out and just change and there's no real checks and balances, it's all well and good. But as of right this second, September 20th, and boy, is that going to piss some people off. September 20th, 2023 at 2:22 p.m. Eastern Time, the PFL Bellator deal is not dead based on multiple conversations that I've had on all sides. They're still working through it. There are options if it doesn't go through. They are not planning on folding Bellator right now. We just have to wait and see how this all plays out. I suspect by January 1st, 2024, we'll have a resolution to this. And 2024 is going to be a huge year for PFL because they've got this TV deal that they need to, lock down because their deal with ESPN is done when the finale happens in November, and they've got, a great product now, and the roster will be even bigger and a library and all this stuff. So it's going to be interesting. Max just announced that they're going to start streaming sports. Do they go with Turner and do a deal there? Like, there's just a lot. Apple, Amazon, who knows? So it's not a fait accompli either way, but it's definitely not dead. And then we'll see who comes over, right? When UFC bought Strikeforce, not everyone went over. Some people took some time. Some people didn't come over. Same with Pride. Better example. Not everyone went over. So it's really dependent on how the contracts are structured. Being Bobby, Ariel, we can all see your affinity for MMA tchotchkes and memorabilia in the studio. But does this extend your home/man cave? Would we be able to tell what sport you cover if we were to walk through your home? Not really. My quote-unquote man cave, I don't even have a man cave. I have that room where I do the other stuff with the bookshelf and all that, and there's some cool stuff there. My wife would say that it's way too cluttered, but that's just like my one place that no one touches. But there's no memorabilia throughout the house. There's maybe a couple of MMA awards. Nothing like that at all. I'm not really one for that. I'm more of a get the memorabilia, put it in a drawer, and then never look at it again. I'm not one to frame things and put them up and all that. I'm not really good with that stuff, to be honest. I do have one piece of memorabilia that I've never shared that I have, which is one of the coolest things that I could possibly get my hands on, but I don't want to share what it is right now for various reasons. But I will just say it's amazing, and sometimes I walk by it and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I actually have this in my possession. And one day I will share what I have. It's actually historic what I have. It's a piece of history. It's not just a thing that someone signed. It's an actual piece of history in a very important time in the sports history. So that's that. That's that. I would say the questions were okay, Frank, as we're about to get to Raul Rosas Jr. I remember laughing at some of the questions. It was a good job. I mean, there were no duds, but I felt like there were some more dynamic ones. Perhaps I'm wrong. I don't know.
He's
I know, yeah, he's working. Yeah, no.
It's very nice of you.
No.
It's only going to get better.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he says very nice to me when it was kind of
I don't think he heard you.
No.
Shitting on him.
But I'm looking
at the goodness of his heart.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of them here.
Trying to help you out, but
no, I mean it's not bad. But I remember,
Frank's back now. Frank, he's saying
no, I can see what
subpar.
I can see what he's saying.
No,
I don't like it.
The teeth, he was gritting the teeth.
Yeah,
I saw.
I'm like, hey man.
No, it's good. I mean, I see one here about
The
Rock came back. I saw one there. There was a fun one about.
Would have loved to hear about your opinion on that.
Yeah, Lord Jacobs and Mr. New York. Someone wrote. I thought that was a fun one.
That would have been a good one too.
I was like, this is one Ariel would pick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with what I would pick.
Okay.
He's the moderator.
What's great about this is Ariel's revealing that he has so little faith in Frank that he's been spot checking which questions he wants him to pick.
That's a good point.
And
I haven't looked at these questions in a long time.
Every time he highlighted, he was like,
them.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at these things in forever. Cannot
texted me
remember the last
night.
time I laid
Are
eyes
you
on
still
him.
good for this?
I mean, I just wanted to check.
Frankie, so
hit you with one of those?
what are you feeling about stepping up into this role and volunteering? And now you've got the man breathing down your neck.
No.
I knew what I
You
signed
can
up
really
tough
feel
spot. It's a
safe.
tough
And
spot.
I knew what I signed up for.
Listen, it's we're just striving for greatness here, as LeBron once said. Question about Nottingham Forest, and
That would have been a good one. I would have loved to hear you.
That just came out.
Yeah.
Rising Tides.
No.
Lift all boats.
Piers
Point
Morgan.
by you. Great point by you, Frank.
Piers Morgan interviewed
Piers Morgan,
Dana White.
Dana White.
Talked
Said a
about
lot of
his-
good stuff.
Yeah, there's
What
the
about you?
human side of him.
Would have loved to hear your opinion on it, but
This one too. I don't want to bring it up. Well, Champions League, of course, that's great stuff. No. By the way,
games yesterday. Yeah.
for the record, I mean, it's all good stuff. I saw, what was the one? About a meetup maybe. I thought that would have been a good one to address.
That was even workshopped.
Yeah.
Layup. That would have been a layup.
so
That would have been
silly.
great.
Oh, the hands down. I spoke to Nevada about that. They said it has to be weight bearing or flat, neither. So we could have addressed that. Valentina hands down. The knees, the illegal knees, legal. This guy calls you the newly crowned moderator champ. So African. Okay, so I mean, we could get to these maybe later if there's some dead periods, but we do have a jam-packed show, so we have to move forward. Our guest is there, or he's not there?
Stand by 1 second.
Okay, I can get back to the questions. Perfect. What happens to Scott Coker if Bellator is bought? That's a good one. Nate Diaz at Noche UFC.
What does happen to Scott Coker?
It depends if they want to bring him. Nate Diaz at Noche was just him being in town. Nothing more to that.
Rule's good to go.
Oh, why aren't Frank Mysterio, GC, and New York Rick in the credits at the end? That's a good one.
Are we doing auxiliary questions now?
I do think they should be in the credits. I'm not sure why, but I've asked if they could be put in the credits because they certainly deserve it. Okay. Oh, the 10-day trip to Tokyo. That would be a good one. So anyway, some great questions. The ODB-inspired T-shirt. We're working on that, the license. So still to come. I'll try to get to as many as possible. But great job by Frank, once again, stepping up. In sort of like, pinch hitter duty, right? Moderator Lewis kind of left us at the altar. We wish him well in his future endeavors. And Frank, not part of the job description, he's probably going to hit us for a raise any second now, stepped up, and we really appreciate his efforts. So thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel. So please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.